Cool. Looks like we are live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik channel. Episode 9. We got a lot that we're going to be talking about tonight. I have with me Madam B and KP. We got the whole crew here tonight.
It's a 3-for-1 deal tonight, people. 3 for 1.
Yeah. Oh, so Madam B, now I see that you've come across a lot of things, interesting topics, to be exact, that you would like for us to go ahead and talk about. And I'm quite frankly interested in a lot of what you got going on right here too. What is that?
Well, I guess I'll just throw one out there. Hi, everybody. Well, we have someone wants to do a Blade TV series, The Punisher. Yep. They want to do a Blade TV series.
I wouldn't mind seeing
updated Blade. Wasn't it Steve Bellenkamp talking about doing that? Blomkamp?
I don't know. There was the one that came after the Blade Trinity, but it only lasted one season. Not that Sticky Fingers, the guy that played him, did a bad job, but it was just not like it. We have enough material here for a Blade series.
Well, I mean, you can always reboot the series.
Do you think they should do a rebooted series? Do you think they should do set in the MCU?
See, that's a good question. That really depends on where they want to go. If you think of any Marvel series right now, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, because what are they going to do? Are they going to go to the Disney Plus? Are they going to run it on regular network TV or what? Because of that change.
I don't think it'll be on regular TV or anything. I think Disney Plus got that right now.
And see, that's kind of the driving factor of how a series will do, because, I mean, there are many series out there. I mean, Netflix is very successful because everybody has a Netflix account, pretty much. Or if not, they have one very close by that they can use. But if you go into Disney Plus, unless they're going to be like $6 a month or something, I don't know if I'm going to see a lot of people being able to watch a rebooted Blade series or even a Blade TV series if they go with that mentality.
Well, they said that Wesley Snipes wants to come back as Blade if they decide to do a series.
I think if they do bring him back, and I know in the movie, of course, they said that Blade, at the end of it, Blade killed all the vampires with that virus. But I wouldn't mind them actually coming back and picking up on that and saying that
failed or survived. Yeah, there's some like isolated somewhere. Fail safe.
It's like when you watch those pandemic movies. Not everybody dies. So I'm hoping they do bring a new series, which I'm actually interested, because it's actually a pretty interesting concept that they can, and even if they do bring back, bring an engaging story.
You're not eating it though. You're eating meat.
It's got chicken broth in it.
It has the taste.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm very curious. I was trying to find that news article I saw today.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I just saw it today, which was funny that you brought it up. But, gosh, I can't find it. I go to way too many places every day.
Did you want to talk about the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The Ghostbusters, starring. They're gonna do teenagers as the main cast, but the old ones are going to come back.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be teenagers this time, and I was reading some of the comments, and everybody was like, "Well, I was excited for about 24 hours."
Yeah,
but
yeah, we thought they were all going to come back and do a final, in the storyline or whatever.
I don't want to see them come back. I'm sorry. It's been too long. In one way, Plus, I did like. I'm one of the few people that liked the reboot, even though there was some things it had problems. I don't see why they just didn't continue with that. I know people had a big backlash. Ain't that the sequel? If your first movie has some problems, when you make the sequel, fix those problems.
You would hope.
And just gonna completely just retcon the reboot, because I don't like it when they do. The reboot had a lot of good going for it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, the three, or the way it was starting, they were talking about 4 teens, 2 girls, 2 boys. And I was kind of thinking when I heard that they were going to use the old cast, and just as you said, it was teens, I figured, kind of like we saw the Scooby series, when they were technically teens, we could meet all the original Ghostbusters as kids as they knew each other. And then as they grow up, you get to see, Aykroyd and the rest of the crew together, but it's still, it looks like they're still committed to going with it.
And my thing,
summer 2020 release date right now from Sony Films.
I think they're doing too much of this whole, like, now everybody's trying to make it seem like kids and young kids and stuff, or can be like heroes and stuff. I think they're pushing that a little bit too much.
Well, they found a niche that everybody kind of liked. Like, look at Stranger Things, set back in the 80s.
But the thing about it is, the thing about Stranger Things is it has, and it does focus on them, but it's not just them. Like, the entire events of the movie, the series, is bounced between adults and kids. It ain't just like the kids are doing everything and adults ain't doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good mix, but the focus is the 5, the original, the 4 kids, and then 9 or 11. 11. So, you do have a lot of interaction from the sheriff and the rest of the team. So, yeah, it's a good balance, but they're focused on them. And I think because of that success and how well it did, they're trying to target. Do you remember a movie called Explorers?
No,
I think it was a Disney film.
No, I definitely ain't seen it.
It's an older one. Like, do you remember Fly the Navigator? Wow. I must be freaking old.
I've heard of Fly the Navigator.
Fly the Navigator is actually a really good movie. Well, Explorers is basically like 3 best friends together. One's kind of a nerd. Well, one's a computer nerd. One, and this is granted like in the 80s, so it's very early in the computer age and all that stuff. And they end up kind of getting a message of how to like build a ship or something. And they end up building it, and they go to see who sent it to them. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But anyway, they run into some folks, but it's kid focused again. It's strictly kid focused, and how their adventures go on. And it's almost like watching the Goonies too. Goonies would be another comparison. And I think people are trying to recapture that style of filmmaking that we saw in the early 80s or late 80s, early 90s. And then it rebirthed itself again, like Stranger Things, and what was the other series that just came out that had a bunch of kids in it? If you watch like the X-Men series right now, like The Gifted and all, they're all kind of 15 to 18 window. Vampire Diaries and Originals pretty much wound down, but we got Legacy, and they're basically the kid from that team, and a couple of members of the original crew are carrying on. So I think they're trying to find a new market again, or revise an old market, I guess you could say. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of here is a lot of that teen style movie.
I'm into it, but it just seems like they're just pushing it a little too hard. Think about
they're going into overkill, but I mean, that's how they do it. It's strike when it's hot. But the bad thing is they're striking too hard, and they're going to fracture it, and it's going to fade.
Remember when Damian Wayans came out?
Oh man, he was everywhere.
I like his character because he was the young kid that he could fight better than all the adults. He was smarter than all the adults. He was not braver. He was more, I guess you could say, rougher. He was more ruthless. He was just like more everything. And I remember when Batman versus Robin came out, hadn't really followed that much in the comics because that's how much I don't. I was like, this kid is smarter than all adults. He can fight. He can beat Nightwing, which I didn't like that. He was beating all the adults. And I'm like, okay. It's like when I used to watch Teen Titans. I used to get mad that Robin could fight Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
one to one, too. He wasn't even getting his butt handed to him yet.
And I like the fact that Deathstroke beat him, but it was like you could actually stand toe-to-toe with this guy. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, he shouldn't have even come close. I mean, I can imagine at the beginning, but he would have just taken it easy on him and then just pounded him into the ground.
That's why, like, when Young Justice came out and Teen Titans came out and all the other Titans, I understood. But I never understood how Robin was able to just jump in. Because even, like, if you watch Justice League and they're fighting all these superpowered guys, Batman sitting here throwing blows with Darkseid.
No, not even remotely close.
so
he would have broke his hand the moment he hit him.
Yeah, and
if he could even get close.
And Marvel's doing it too, of course. I think
going hand in hand with Thanos.
I think DC's doing it better with that, like with Young Justice. But if you look at like the Marvel, like the young cast they got now, Miss Marvel, that girl, Miles Morales, the new Nova Corps guy. The chick that takes over Iron Man, you like, how did this girl outthink like government? So she ain't nothing but like 15.
Yeah,
she becomes the new Iron Man. So I think they pushing that a little bit too much. Like I said, I don't mind because, like you said, like back in the day, Ghostbusters did have a cartoon where it was teenagers, I believe. Yeah, they were teenagers.
They were teenagers?
I think they were either teenagers or they were young adults. They were somewhere in that. Because I remember the chick was like a goth, was gothic, and I think one of the boys was in a wheelchair. I looked at it not too long ago. Like, I don't mind them going that direction, but like I said, they've already established the reboot. Stick with the reboot and just make the sequel to it better.
You know, that kicked a thing in my brain. Did you ever catch a series called Misfits of Science?
I've heard of it, I think.
It's like it's probably about as old as you are. It was like from 1985.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't remember.
It's kind of talking, you're talking about, these teams and taking on people and all this good stuff. And in that series, it was kind of like I don't know, I guess you could say they're adult teeny type style. But it was like each character had like a super ability or some superpower, and they just really didn't even know. They just had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was like constantly, screwing stuff up, and that youthful oops. There was not really a completely serious moment with it, but it was a fun to watch show. And that kind of reminded me when you were talking about, the series is now that we have. It just clicked in my head. I said, man, I forgot about that series in a long time. And it just clicks. And they were doing that. I was 85. So, yeah, if that gives you an idea, 24 years later, they're trying to go back and, find that niche again.
Like I said, I don't mind it. But it's like, come on, kids. And then you got to think about it. It's like, y'all adults are some jackasses. Because why would you have kids sitting here fighting these horrible monsters that wipe out planets and civilizations? It's like, God. But like I said, I don't mind it if it feels more organic, which is why I like Stranger Things, because it isn't the adults letting the kids or teaching the kids to deal with this.
No, it's about self-discovery. It's a lot of discovery.
Yeah. So everybody's everybody's like trying to solve this mystery. They're just doing it in different ways. And like I said, I don't mind the Ghostbusters doing a reboot. I don't like the fact that they would reboot the reboot and just retcon it and go back to the first one like they did Halloween. But like I said, I don't want to see Dan Aykroyd and them return. I'm sorry. They've had their time in the spotlight. Y'all did 2 good movies back in the day all together. There's no reason to keep trying to bring back this franchise with the same characters over that amount of time. And plus, like I've said, I do like the Ghostbusters the reboot a little bit better than the originals, because the original, there were some things in the original I never liked and I never understood. But that's an entirely different video.
Well, this one just crossed my path. It says why Tony Todd turned down a Leprechaun versus a Candyman versus Leprechaun project.
I know.
Yeah.
It's in the title, Candyman versus Leprechaun.
Yeah, I can probably see why, because he was like, a horror legend and comedy. He said that would mix. That's what he said. He saw what happened with Freddy versus Jason.
Oh yeah.
Predator.
Wait. Freddy versus Jason was actually successful.
But
he's talking about the comedy slide. Jason being the just chop you up and feed you to the fish, and Krueger being more vocal and animated and funny.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
But I
combining the two of Candyman, and the Leprechaun failed series.
I would say this: Freddy vs. Jason, the only movie I've seen that like sold out when it came to Walmart. When they dropped down here at Walmart, it was sold out. I was like, wow, okay. I never seen a movie do that before, but that's besides the point. But there's some horror icons I wouldn't mind like doing like a versus movie. I still kind of like the concept of Hello Hellraiser. I kind of still like that concept. Somebody put that picture on the internet a long time ago. Jason dropped. I was like, yeah, okay, but of course nothing that came of it.
Think about how, if it happened, how it would go about Candyman and Leprechaun meeting and going. Well, I ain't gonna say head to head, because head to knee to shin.
I'm gonna take you out at the kneecaps, and you can't do nothing about it. Watch my claw, boy. Hold my beer.
That's kind of. I don't think it would work.
Look for a hand.
I mean, another.
That Leprechaun series is already dead. I don't know who drugged them. And man, like that stories wouldn't make any sense to be together.
It would, because
don't mind the security dog.
To be called or be summoned or whatever.
We don't mind Cujo.
And
he's a big dog.
Leprechaun, what? He has to basically be summoned too sometimes.
No,
he shows when they steal his gold.
Every movie changes. Every movie it changes.
It changes how they kill him, how he comes about. Yeah, that was
what a girl takes one of his coins. He goes after her. Who happens to summon freaking Candyman, and Candyman can't have him kill her because he want to get with her and take her to hell, which he's a jackass, want to take this girl to hell for no reason, but okay.
She looked good.
They have to fight it out. And no, that's stupid.
Any of the Candyman movies?
No.
Why he was well, the first one he was after the girl she
descended.
No, the second one was the descendant.
Oh.
I totally forgot what the third one was about, but they said it was about her daughter.
I don't know. I don't want to be in it. I understand. Candyman versus Leprechaun. Okay, let's okay. That's the wisest decision I've seen him make instead of playing in this low budget movies. It is, and I want to see him stop playing because every time he plays in a movie, he's normally playing Candyman anyway.
It's just the way he looks. That on that movie, well, he played a little part on that movie. He was
security guard.
Yeah,
and
he was kind of
stupid.
Was that true?
Let me ask you this: what do you think about Deadpool 3.
What was it again?
Deadpool 3.
Ah, well, I think they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with it and who's going to be back in it.
He said it's going to be different.
But how different? What kind of different? I mean, we know what we expect with Deadpool characters, so how would it be completely different?
I want to know, is it tied? I mean, the whole Deadpool kind of ties to into the X-Men universe, but this third movie, is it still going to be its own thing, or is it going to tie into the X-Men universe? Yeah, in Deadpool 2, we did see them with a very
X-Force.
no, that was X-Force.
Oh, yeah, he was briefly with him, a trainee.
Mansion. They showed the X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
and
yeah, they're all hiding.
Yeah, they come along.
Okay.
So I'm like, so are they going to introduce more of those characters? And plus they're pushing for Wolverine to come back.
He's been bugging him and bugging him and bugging him to do it. It would be cool though if they could get him back in there to reprise Wolverine one more time in a time frame where he wouldn't be dying of antimonium poisoning. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
But they saying it's in development now, so that's good. Are y'all hoping to see Cable and
Zoe Beats, but you can't think of her name.
okay, what's her name? Domino, yeah. Domino.
Yeah. I like the character Domino. I like the whole thing. Domino was like what kind of made that movie.
She flies out the truck and then lands on this big old air balloon thing.
Yeah, just pure luck. Everything was pure luck. She didn't get hit in the power lines. She didn't.
That was the best. Like all of her scenes was some of the best parts of the movie.
Well, I like it when they jump out of the plane and all the bad stuff happens to him. And when Brad Pitt shows up as the invisible dude, getting fried.
That was
great.
What you looking at, Miss Madam B?
This Resident Evil TV series.
Okay. I am ready for that.
They want to do one on for Netflix. Netflix already in enough trouble, but you know.
Well, they gotta do something to make up the rest of the movies they're losing, or the series is like, you know.
So, what do you think it'll start off at, or would it? How would you want them to go about doing it?
Ground Zero.
Me personally, at Ground Zero.
Explain who Umbrella Corp is. Figure out what they're trying to do. I mean, we know how. Was it Apocalypse? What was the last one?
The final chapter.
Yeah. And we found out who Alice was and all the other stuff that went along with it. I think they should start from Ground Zero. And we actually get what happened, you know, kind of, well, Fear the Walking Dead kind of as at the beginning of the epidemic. The Walking Dead was after it on the East Coast. If they're going to do a Resident Evil series, they really need to just bring everybody up to speed, get it started for a couple episodes, and then we kind of go back and forth between what we see at Umbrella Corp and Alice and her crew, or, you know, any other person. I mean, it has to be Alice because it's the Resident Evil franchise. So, you know, work it that way.
This is what I'm going to see. There's 3 ways to go about this. 3 ways. One, they could.
Wait a minute. It says it's going to expand the Resident Evil universe in an effort to deepen the existing mythology.
So that kind of, well, I'll tell you why. The first one was I wanted it to, it might go by the books. I mean, go by the, and a lot of people that's going to watch the series are going to want them to follow the game. So we've already going to be set in the mythology of it. Okay, fine. So the question is this during the initial start? Has everything already been settled? Because, you know, after the first game goes off, of course, different events still continue to happen. Now, if that's the case, I want them to do it like this. This has been one of my complaints in the games, and I'm glad Seven decided to take this direction. I don't want the main characters from the series to be in there. I want it to be new stories,
Yeah,
but in the
they
same
said they
universe.
didn't know if there was going to be the new ones that everybody's used to, or I mean the old ones or the new ones.
And I don't mind the old ones coming into every book, but not every because come on, it's the world is huge. Not every single biohazard outbreak that happens, one of them is going to be involved. You know what I'm saying? And also, I wanted to either do this too. I wanted to be like American Horror Story, be an anthology. Have one season dedicated to an outbreak here. Have another season dedicated to perhaps a worker or something, or employee having to deal with an outbreak like in the company or something. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be the same thing rehash.
Yeah, bringing a whole new crew.
New crew, new story, but same universe.
Let Resident drop, or has it already dropped?
I don't know because the demo been around and I ain't thinking about it. I want to get it, but I hadn't beat the original second one, so I can't really be like rushing like that.
Okay.
But I am a huge Resident Evil fan. So go Netflix.
What about that Xena Warrior Princess TV series?
A reboot?
Is it, or is it animated or live action? No, I think it was animated, wasn't it? I think that I.
Well, I ran across one article that they said was coming through NBC, but it kind of died.
No.
I was trying to see if there was something else.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't much on it. It was just giving a little bit on it. I watched a couple of episodes of Xena Warrior Princess when I could, like late at night when I was a kid. But that was it. I really don't know much about it.
Man, that show used to be busting back in the day. Used to be busting back in the day. Let me ask you this: would you animate or would you want to be live action?
I like a live action.
I'm thinking that same thing too.
I think an anime would. I mean, anime gives you a lot more possibility, but I like a live action would be much more enjoyable.
And find out who play this and who will play that.
In fact, I want to see some Xena Warrior Princess animated movie. I want her to be the Wonder Woman of whatever universe that she got going
Greek time.
Yeah.
Give her some ambrosia and see what happens.
Yeah.
Turns into a god, basically.
If like right now, the chick that plays Xena, she ain't too old. She actually still playing like action roles in certain movies.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind her just doing a passing of the torch. But still have
it's more of a title than a name.
A sequel. Make this new series a sequel. She's still pretty active.
Yeah.
She's in Spartacus. She's in Ash versus the Evil Dead. She's still doing like, so I wouldn't mind her just being like, okay, she's
her daughter.
Her daughter. I wouldn't mind passing her the torch.
Wasn't it? Who had the kid? Was it Gabrielle or her?
I think it was Gabrielle.
And then she ended up being like her own evil clone or whatever, wasn't it? That's been a while.
It's been a while. I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't, like I said, but this is one of the moments I'm like, okay, there's no reason to reboot it. Just sequel it. You got enough content. You got enough creative influence behind it. Make a sequel. Don't reboot it.
Oh no, Xena had a son.
Or hell, they could just do it to where Xena's been gone for a while or whatever, and then and they could just introduce her having a son or a daughter or whatever.
Well, she did have a son named Solon, and Gabrielle realized that she had a kid also, So both of them actually end up having kids at some point. Well, I didn't know that. Huh. The things you find on the internet.
Like I said, I wouldn't mind them. Let's come back with that. That's one of the shows that I could watch where it's like a strong female role, but it's not overly. She's not over the. Not like that Van Helsing, because I cannot stand that Vanessa chick in that movie. She's ridiculous.
Calm down.
I mean that show.
The current one.
I hate her. She's the only character I hate because, look, I don't. Like I said, I don't mind a female character being strong, but she's just ridiculous. Wonder Woman didn't even do the stuff that she did in that movie. I mean, that show, beating up 3 guys, punking
Elders.
I'm like, how are y'all taking this woman seriously? And I'm
remember,
sorry,
she's also got a sister in there too with almost the same ability.
But the sister grounded. Like when you watch her, there are more emotionally charged moments with her. There are more vulnerable, even though she has been trained to be like a killer. And trained like that, she just for the moment you even before all this stuff happens, she's like this kick-ass character, and it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I remember, like the very first one, she got attacked in her own apartment, couldn't do nothing, and died. And then she was in a coma for 3 years.
She fought that guy, and she put a whoop on him,
but I mean, it wasn't like anything like she did before. It was pretty much survival instinct. You know, do whatever I can to get this whatever away from me.
Yeah.
And then you come back. She goes into a coma for what it was like 3 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And then she comes back out and kind of comes back around, and next thing you know, she's like whooping ass, taking names, and all kind of crazy stuff.
I'm like, nah, I can't.
So what'd you do? Absorb all the stuff from the special forces guy?
Yeah, even with my daughter died, and yes, I just spoiled it, and I don't care.
Oh man, I can't believe you did that.
I'm sorry, I didn't feel sorry for her. Okay. I still did.
You can't put a spoiler in there for Ken. We'll get on to the next one. Shh.
No, Ken had to known already because he knew about the sister. The sister wasn't introduced to after that.
Okay.
I know the series. I've been watching it pretty regularly. I haven't seen the last couple episodes, and I have them on DVR. So, but they are going to do a season 4, by the way, just to let you know. Fall 2019. So you get some more Vanessa and her sister and whomever else survives that I don't know yet. Don't tell me.
I don't know. I hadn't seen season 3, so oh well.
No, season 3 is a whole different ball game.
I let it go now before I start ranting, going on a diatribe about how much I hate that character.
Oh, you're not going to. Next.
It's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna say shit storm. Tremors 7.
Jesus Christ. Really?
It is gonna star Birds Up again. He said it will not be shit. That's what he said. Those are his exact words. He said good stuff and good ideas. It's gonna be set in space. I don't know that.
About to say no. I'm done with Tremors. I'm sorry. Oh, all these movies are so much worse.
It's like the Sharknadoes.
It's like watching the Hellraiser series.
It's got its own like cult following. Mass blasters and the worms and I can't think of all the other critters. They've introduced so many derivatives of the damn original worm that you don't really even know where the heck you're at anymore.
Well, if they make sense, then it would be okay. But the last one didn't make any kind of sense. You bought people with the title. I mean, I wanted to see a cold day in hell. I wanted to see that. You had me going, and what did I see? I see a cold day.
This is what I want to see because that movie introduced the concept. I wouldn't mind if what they had did was some guy tried to weaponize the creatures.
Yeah.
And the series kind of picks up after that person does that. Say they
I know, but Jack is like they take it to the trash and dump it out there.
And then Africa, we had a facility that people had to deal with it. That's how we got Africa. And it would even be a better job. Different. And then the whole laboratory or whatever added where they adapted to the cold climate. It made sense. Everything wet fever.
But no, that's not what they did.
The movie is trying to go back to the first
character. Understand. And then the whole it's like the Resident Evil thing I said. This thing is a worldwide event.
Is he the
no, they don't need to be any of the original. Let them do what the first Tremors did.
I guess I'll take these into
Eat them.
Dealing with a situation they had no knowledge about. That's what made it first. But when you sit here, you try to make that's the problem with the Alien series. Trying to bring Ripley back, even though these freaking aliens are all over the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? But she's the. That's what they try to do with Predator. That's what they deal with the Scream series, the Jason series. Stop it! Stop it! Yeah, isolated event. Let it be that.
Yeah, stop rehashing. We have the universe. Let's just move on with it.
Yeah.
And actually, like the Resident Evil, we can do that. I mean, a lot of the series they want to remake, don't remake, just reutilize. Just throw something in there and keep on trucking. You keep the mythos of the universe, and then just keep on trucking.
Like I said, I don't got nothing against the guy that plays Bird. But the problem is, it's just him. They keep bringing him back.
Well, it's just bread and butter because he's cheap and nobody else wants to do it.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, he's like, that's all his claim to fame now. I mean, he was in so much before, and now he's like, that's all that he does.
And I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Let it go. I'm sorry, okay? Let it go. You were great in the first 2 films. Quit doing this. And then the fact they had the nerve to bring him back in the 4th one when they weren't in. I was like, wow. Even though they established that he wasn't from there, but they moved there because of isolation, they tried to make it seem like his ancestors lived. Okay, I hear you talking. I hear you talking.
Terrible.
Killing me with this. They really are.
Did you find anything else?
Oh, I got plenty. They're talking about and I know y'all ain't gonna like me for saying this, but I gotta say it. They're talking about Black Panther being the best picture. Was the best picture?
Yeah, I've seen
best picture of the year.
Yeah,
it got a bunch of nominations actually.
I think that was 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think it was 8 that they got total.
What is wrong with these people?
Some of them are legit. They're cool, and some are like, I don't know, best picture of the year, but they did have good costume design.
Yeah,
they had good sound editing. I mean, a lot of the other ones. I mean, I don't think it's a competer in that department, but I mean, all the other Academy Awards they've been not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually. I think they're all well deserved in the other categories. I just don't know if it's up there in Best Picture or not. But
yeah, as far as you're right. The costume designs, the makeup.
Oh man.
the because I actually soundtrack. It had a great hip hop vibe mixed with some of this what felt like an authentic African like
Well,
thing. Yes, it was good with those.
well, just think. You have to look. Oh crap! It skipped me. If you look at here's a couple. Here's one that throws me off too. Let me get back to where I was because it threw some commercial thing in there on me. All right, best picture. These are the people in competition for the best picture this year. Black Panther, questionable. Good movie. Black Klansman, which I don't think survived in the theater more than a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, which it's not so bad. I don't know the rest of these. A Star Is Born. I kind of figured that would be in there. That was the big talk. The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, and Vice. Now, some of those I have no idea what they are. I've never heard of them.
Right, look at the categories. I mean, yeah, they're gonna pick Black Panther.
Well, Black Klansman too, and that movie to me, I don't think was best picture quality.
It wasn't. It's garbage.
I mean, it at best would have been kind of sort of along the lines of Super Troopers to me. With some, well, it had a lot of historical references in there because a lot of that case was actually true, but I don't see it like best picture quality.
I don't think Get Out had that many nominations, did it?
I don't think Get Out was even. I think that was last year because they won a lot of stuff last year. The big run this year is like director Black Klansman, Spike Lee. Roma, The Favorite, Vice. I mean, all those movies start hitting back and forth. Adapted screenplays. A lot of the ones just hit. Star Is Born. It looks like it's pretty much like Black Panther, A Star Is Born, and then from there you got Roma, The Favorite. That's like the top 4 of all the movies really in there that have majority of the nominations. And I have no idea what half of them are even at.
I feel bad because I'm looking at some of the best pictures of this year. I haven't seen any of these.
No.
I heard of them. The only one I seen on here that I didn't see it was Mission Impossible and Annihilation. They're only 2. And I ain't even watch them.
And they're not even on the list.
I'm like, gosh, really?
Yeah, so it kind of has wondering, like, why are they going to do that way with that new movie that's coming out whenever it's time for their nomination next year or whatever? Us? I think they're trying to get a thing going. Get Out, Black Panther.
Yeah,
Us.
like a racially charged movie, something like that.
Like Us is gonna have the best picture, it's gonna get all the nominations. The hell with everybody else. I think
it was a good movie. Was it the best horror movie? No, it wasn't. And then all the praise it got, all the praise Black Panther got, same thing. The Black Klansman, I don't know. The only person about it was a black YouTuber, and he didn't like it. So as far as the Black Panther Oscar nominations and everything, like you said, when it comes to the actual the look of it and the actual appealing aspect of it visually, and
the stuff that goes into the movie magic, costuming, music, soundtracks, they're great. They were phenomenal. I was liked the hell out of it.
And I'm sorry, I'm surprised that Aquaman not into that too, because if I would give Black Panther a nomination for like character designs and stuff, Aquaman had to get that too, as well as Avengers Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying those are the only movies that touch that, but I'm like, if you're gonna put Black Panther on there, them other 2 one of those other 2 got to be on there too.
Yeah, there's something else in there. Yeah, definitely. Just for the visual effects off Aquaman alone, was phenomenal.
Let me ask you this: I still ain't seen the John Wick trailer.
Ooh, John Wick.
Let me ask you this, and I don't like. I bring it up. Next Justice League without Batman and Superman.
What?
I think that's where they were going to go with it.
Well, I know they were fighting over Ben Ashcrack, and then Henry Cavill was questionable he was leaving or not, and then Jason Momoa said he wasn't, and most everybody else said he was. So really, I guess technically those two would be out of the picture, but I don't see a Justice League movie without them because they are the core Justice League.
It's okay. I would say this. Look, I can see a Justice League movie without them.
Would you go to see it?
Yeah, I would see it. But my thing is, I bring on two characters, not equally as skilled or powerful, but
bring the Martian Manhunter on board,
or like Green Lantern
and Green Lantern. Bring those two in, and you can have a deal.
Or if you don't get either of those two, put Shazam in there. But hopefully Shazam.
We'll see how that goes.
Before I say Shazam, I got to see how the movie goes first.
Yeah, exactly. I would say right now the most anticipated people that were being thought of was the Lantern Corps for sure. I mean, we briefly saw them in the original Battle of the Cubes or the Mother Boxes. So I would definitely say if you're not going to have Batman and you're not going to have Superman, you're still going to have some technological, and you're going to have some firepower. So I would definitely go with the Green Lantern Corps for the technical, which that would be cool looking. And Jean, the Martian Manhunter, he's also kind of a leadership position too, because that's kind of where Batman was rolling. I think with those two character fill-ins, you could do a Justice League movie and still have Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The Flash, and those two, and I would go see it.
Let me ask you this. What if they replaced Superman with Shazam and Batman with Nightwing?
I really wouldn't want to see a Nightwing. I could deal with Shazam, but I don't think Nightwing's appealing to me in the JLA.
I want to see Nightwing. I'm tired of seeing him get beat up in them. They do him so wrong.
Yeah, I don't think Nightwing has that much popularity in in the movie world or TV series. Although he has made appearances in the Teen Titans. He's made it, of course, obviously on the new series that's out there now. Because you actually got Nightwing and Robin together on the same group, which is kind of weird.
I want to see him because of all the people that I guess emulates Batman or in the same category as Batman, Nightwing is supposed to be the only other person, I believe, or one of the few people that's supposed to be like, he thinks like Batman.
Well, yeah, he trained under him. I mean, he was the original Robin and then moved to doing his own gig. So, yeah, he would be the closest character that would fit that bill.
If they don't happen, I'm not gonna, if they don't happen, and then I'm crap. I'm gonna go see it. And plus, a lot of people that watch the movies don't like Batman and Superman, so I'm interested to see if they say if that ever happened. And put those two characters in the reason story-wise why they're not in the movie, then I'll be fine. Now, Darkseid show up, and I'm like, recast them. Put them characters back in that movie.
Yeah, you're gonna need some extra ooh la la to go against him.
I don't see no Darkseid movie and no Superman and Batman, especially Superman.
Wonder Woman could run against him pretty easy. Superman and Shazam would have to be their powerhouses, unless he just threw. I don't even think that would work.
This is what I'd see too. I want to see too. Superman does make a return. I know a lot of people, and I agree with him. Superman was too powerful in the Justice because he did like push everybody.
He wasn't even a fraction of the power that he actually runs.
So this is what I want to do: kind of tone him down a little bit too.
Do you bleed?
Yes, Steppenwolf, he's a god and he's pretty powerful, but I still think like there should have been a bit more of a they struggling to beat him because Superman's Kryptonian and they're godlike, but Steppenwolf is actually a god.
Only in the yellow sun.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, if they do bring Superman back, tone him down. Tone him down. Make him as strong and as powerful as Wonder Woman, just maybe a little bit stronger than her, but not too much stronger. Make him about, you know what I'm saying? Make him about even. Like stronger than Superwoman, less fast as the Flash. Diatribe again, but I don't care. I'm talking some real stuff. But as far as them two not being, I'm not gonna get pissed off if they're not in it. But we all know they do that. Gonna be that backlash. The internet's gonna come back hard too.
No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, everybody's always gonna be. There's always gonna be. You can't please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's never happened the world around. So you just hope you get the better half. I hope I don't get the whiners, or at least the whiners don't outrun everybody. So we shall see. But a lot of good opportunities, a lot of cool series, a lot of good universes and markets out there right now. So, you know, they got to come up with something good because they're struggling to make anything worth a damn right now.
But just happened is because of what was going on behind the scenes. Because of what happened with Zack Snyder, because of the studio stepping in when they need to, you know, sit their rump down. I like Joss Whedon, but Joss Whedon did hurt the film. So.
No, you mean Will Wheaton? Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Wheaton. Wheat.
What else you looking at over there?
That's all I see. So I mean, like so far, we have 9.
Oh, I already got that. Oh, I ain't done. Let me ask you this then.
Well, do the this one then.
What is that?
Just the Red Hulk or Professor.
Oh no, I don't want to see none of them theories about. Bring this up. Does the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer hurt the Avengers Endgame movie?
No.
But this is the reason why I asked. Because the Avengers Endgame is supposed to be, we don't know what happens. We don't know who survived stuff. But
yeah, but is Homecoming obviously probably happens before Endgame.
No, Endgame. No, it happens after Endgame.
How?
Because, well, you know what? Somebody did mention that. Somebody did ask me about. They did
because when Homecoming comes on board, it's just after Aunt May discovers he's Spider-Man, and that's long before. I mean, probably not too much longer before Endgame. So this is a precursor to this. This Homecoming is a precursor or pre-show before Endgame, because there's no other way to explain it, because afterwards it wouldn't make any sense.
But that's just like with the whole, you know, they got the Phase 4 thing going on. But we know what characters are going to survive because they got movies coming out.
Yeah, but still, the content of the show is going to. Oh, Cat, get down. One. Cat's trying to join the show here. I got a whole audience in here. I got cats and dogs, and the only thing I'm missing is chickens. But the way the stuff, alien chickens, man, alien chickens. The way the style in the movie looks like, it's definitely prior to Endgame, because, you know, even in the trailers and extended trailers, and even I think the Japanese one, the events haven't happened yet. Nobody's disappeared. They're not really going, what happened to everybody? You know, it's just the style of the movie is just, you know, could be week beforehand, could be months beforehand Endgame, but it is definitely pre-Endgame, or pre-Infinity War. Definitely pre-Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think it's just right after. I don't know where it would come in the timeline. Well, literally, I guess just before pre-Infinity, because that would be the last movie that they would have done. So, Oh, cat. No, 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 no. Beat it. Beat it, you deadbeat.
But then, like I said, that begs the question. It's like, is it going to be a prequel? Is it going to be before Endgame or afterwards?
No,
but,
well, no, it's definitely. I think it's before pre-Infinity.
Like it has to be, but at the same time, it's like the timing of it. It's like, why would you put the movie out after everybody?
Well, they were already working on that movie. I think they filmed it simultaneously because he was already in costume. They didn't have to double pay him. That would make sense that they would film it simultaneous if they did. I mean, I could be wrong, but the way that Spider-Man: Homecoming, the movie now is literally going to take place before Infinity War. It was just I can't.
And I'm got a name, but we're looking at a theory right here, and what they said was, what was it? They're saying that when what's the guy's name again? Thanos did the snap. Sorry,
yeah,
they did the snap. They didn't die. They just went to a different.
They went to the Soul Stone.
No, I think what this is saying, it seemed like it split the universe in two, and it took got dusted. They went to a different universe.
So like an Earth 3 universe or something.
Earth 2 universe, and then Spider-Man Homecoming is supposed to be not Homecoming. Far From Home is supposed to be set in that universe.
But see, they would have the knowledge of the snap, and it would be just the same thing again.
But would they though?
And there's too many characters in there to be 50%.
Because the only two characters we've seen of significance were Nick Fury and Peter Parker. I mean, you could say his friend, you could say too, but like the main cast.
See, that's what they're saying. It's like leading to, it was a fan theory that the original Avengers are in the MCU to a timeline in which Infinity War never took place, and that like Peter Parker never left his school bus to venture into outer space. And so, because I read some on like, well, did Peter Parker did he ever leave his school bus, or did when he was on that?
And then they're saying that Iron Man
and Thor never made an appearance.
Second one. So I can say it's an interesting concept.
That would be an interesting theory.
Yeah, and it's like, have you ever heard of the Secret Wars?
Oh yeah,
that would be a pretty cool event to start off the Secret Wars. Well,
the Secret Wars was done by the Beyonder, not the.
But yeah, like since they're changing it, it would be pretty cool if the world did because of what Thanos did. He did create two alternate universes, and then perhaps maybe at some later time have those universes come together. But that's actually an interesting theory.
Well, that could, also theoretically that could tie in the ant theory and quantum on the quantum level, that the quantum level doesn't care where it's at. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of all. So if they find a way to manipulate and move through the quantum realm and appear in the other Earth 2 or the other universe, that's how they might contradict everything, because half the stuff never happened. The timeline carried on because that theory was it happened beforehand. So it never happened. He never got off the bus. The events never happened. He just carried on where he was going to begin with in the original movie of Infinity War. So that is very interesting.
And plus, I did see Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was awesome. It was a messed up ending, though.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Well, I liked the Ghost.
Yeah.
She's the girl from Killjoys.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
I liked the idea of how it worked, and the costume was pretty freaking sweet.
And Wasp was kicking ass.
Oh man, she was stomping. Like when she went to the first time she went to meet the crime guy and just drop kicked all them dudes around like they were toys. Using a salt shaker and hit that guy. It was good. That was really good, and I liked the way it rolled. I mean, it was pretty cool.
What else we got? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things on here as well. Well, y'all haven't seen Uncharted, but so we're not gonna worry about that. Masters of the Universe. They're supposed to be rebooting it.
Now, I was interested in one of the reboots that they were doing, and I can't remember the name of the director at the moment, but the story was very cool and much more updated and more modernized than the original He-Man storyline. And some of the drawings and stuff from it were badass. But I don't know if this remake is under that guy or under somebody else. I have to go back and find that article. But if they remade it like the one I read, and it changes the whole dynamic of the movie, and it will look really, really, really good. Visual effect wise would be very cool. Like Trap Jaw and some of the other characters that we know will look really cool. And it won't be CGI; they'll be practical, which is even way cooler.
This is what I want to see. I want to see Taskmaster and Thor duking it out, and do not ruin this movie. He did a good impression on me with Aquaman. Don't ruin it. And of course, Dolph Lundgren did play He-Man in the.
They have potentially revealed some characters.
Oh, we already know who the characters are. We just want to know who the cast is.
Well, you know what I mean. Well, it says character.
And I want to know how dark is how serious is this movie going to be?
If they went to the storyline I read, it would be a much darker, grittier movie. It won't be no kids movie. It's definitely going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, we watched She-Ra.
Ooh, the Netflix series.
I don't like it.
I haven't got to watch it yet. I don't know if I will or not. I didn't really watch it as a kid. I used to watch Master of the Universe all the freaking time, and the movie was good.
I watched it when they rebooted the series, the cartoon series, in like the 2000s when they updated it, but I didn't like it because
it's kind of chintzy.
I don't like comics and I don't like cartoons where the bad guy never wins and the good guys never lose. That's kind of the concept. Like I can understand in the end the good guys lose, but it's a war that you're fighting. So sometimes the good guys got to lose, and sometimes the bad guys got to win.
You win and lose. That's basically what it boiled down to, too.
And then in that He-Man cartoon, they didn't do it. They just kept winning. You like Skeletor's supposed to be this world conqueror. It's super badass. But then you sit here watching it, and you like, how in the world is he supposed to be a world conqueror?
Exactly. The Nee brothers is who's going to be doing the movie. I was trying to find something that they've done that I know off the top of my head. Let's see what we got. I hope it is the darker, grittier version that I saw, because I would be fantastically doing to see that movie. It would have to be.
You know who should do it? Who would get that darkness right? Two directors, and they should team up. Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder, and for the visual effects,
they went outside the mark on anybody. They got these guys called the Nee brothers, but I just don't know where they come from.
They were extras. They was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and try.
Yeah, you guys look okay. You look trustworthy for a multi-bajillion-dollar film. Come on, knock it out. Because I see mentions of Jurassic World. I see mentions of Godzilla and Skull Island. Band of Robbers, Last Romantic. So I don't know. I think they reached out and did just like they did with Aquaman. Snatch somebody new, bring some fresh blood in, and say, do it to it. So we'll have to see. Adam and Aaron Nee, N-E-E. That's who's doing it.
In it.
So we'll see what happens. I hope it's the darker, grittier one, because I don't want to see a comic-y one. I want to see some grit. I want to see some violence.
I don't want to see no kids one either where
this
guy's supposed to be this world conqueror, and then they break
Well, see, the guy who played in the Skeletor in the last movie, I liked. I think he was the guy that played in Bill and Ted as Death, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the same guy. But Skeletor wasn't a bumbling moron or an idiot. He was actually smart. And he, you know, was working plans and making things happen. You know, versus the bumbling moron we know from the comic series who could never basically find his way around Snake Mountain to begin with. So, I would like to get somebody of that stature or darker. I want Skeletor to be feared. You know, kind of Darth Vader of the Master's Universe. I want him to be scary. I want him to be intelligent, a true match. And have, you know, Grayskull and the Sorceress and all that, you know, we get more depth into the history of Narnia. I almost said Narnia. Woo! Yeah. Woo! That was almost a faux pas. Yeah, but basically, yeah, you know, of Eternia, Narnia. God, what have I been smoking today? Anyway,
I want to see a master. But I want them to do a She-Ra too, follow it up.
Well, she could even be introduced in the series, just like the crossover other series. I mean, she popped up in the series anyway.
Do like this, the glass and split. Do like that. Have He-Man have his movie. Have She-Ra have her movie, and in the third movie they come together.
Sure, perfect. Of course, you need the same director for both.
Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. Can't let you do it, buddy.
No, denied.
And
you had your shot. You ruined it.
And I guess for our final subject, they're rebooting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Again?
Yes.
Isn't it like the 7th time?
It feels like it.
Are you talking about the animated or live?
Live action.
What? Again?
Yep.
What, are they stupid? Why? Why in the world would you do that? That's just beyond stupid. You're ruining the franchise. You're destroying it.
I don't know. Look, I like the setup of the newest incarnation. And seeing the channel, you know, I didn't like Out of the Shadows. I was pissed off when Out of the Shadows came out.
Hadn't seen it yet.
And like I said, and I say this to I would defend this one part of the movie. Krang was the best part of that movie.
Well, I would hope so.
He hands down. If you thought that he was like silly in the cartoons, no. In this one, he's interesting. He's got personality, but he's badass.
And see, that's what I was talking about. And for the He-Man remake, same thing. You know, you need a brutal bad guy. And I mean, he was perfect for the choice to come in and into the movies in real reality. But you're making me yawn. Stop it. But I don't know. I think they need to just knock it off for a while. And I think, I saw an advertisement for a new animated series too recently. Man, I think they're actually doing a reanimated series.
They come out with so many new series of that. Like one of the biggest problems in the series where they were talking about was he was too big, he was too buff.
They don't take it back to where they're kids.
Get them off the steroids.
Reboot, but I'm with you. I'm like, give it a while.
Yeah, they need to knock it off. I mean, there was a lot of time between the original,
like
animated,
between the original movie series and this one's like, okay, give it like, I don't know, 5 years. Give it a minimum of like 5 years before you decide you want to reboot something.
Yeah, just stop.
And
go on a hiatus, let it burn off a little bit, come back. See, they were shooting for a new generation is what they were doing. That's how all that came around.
If you make a movie, most likely watch it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, there have been some great movies that people didn't go watch. That's because they suck. But if you make a good Ninja Turtle movie, it'll fly. And I think the biggest problem now is they're trying so hard to make make a franchise based movie rather than a good movie. And that's one reason Out of the Shadows failed to me, is instead of them making a good movie, they try to make a franchise movie.
Exactly.
When we make a franchise movie, one thing we try to do is put all of the characters in the movie, even though they don't got no reason to be in the freaking movie. Just put.
But we want them there because.
Like Shredder came back. No reason for Shredder came.
No, as far as we know, his ass was splatted.
Casey Jones, his character was in the movie. One of the little, and it hurt me because I'm like, Stephen DeMille is Arrow. Why is he acting like an idiot in this movie?
Oh, that's right. He did play that role.
You'd be so disappointed in his
What a shocker if he came back. I'd be like, cast as another character and you come back in there to do that. I would be expecting a lot more out of him in a.
And would I have liked to seen them make a third installment? Because I'm one of those guys. If you make at least 2 movies, make it a trilogy. Would it have been? Would I have liked to seen a third film? Yes, but what's the guy that directed the movies again? I keep forgetting his name. The guy the Michael Bay. His influence behind the movie, get rid of it. Get somebody in there that's got talent with good writing and who knows how to handle characters, because that's one of the biggest problems these Ninja Turtles movies have, is the fact that the stories are just atrocious and some of the characters are just stupid. Like, I like Will Arnett's character, but it's like when you sit back and like, what is his point of his character being in this freaking movie? Although I will admit this, there was one concept in the sequel that I did like, and the turtles finally like came to the light. So like the law enforcement knew about them.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that concept. I did like that concept. They're like, hey, we know we're mutants and stuff, but trust us, we're on you.
We're good guys.
So I did like that. But for reboot, it's on what you can. Give it some time.
Yeah, they need to put some space. They're pushing, and they're trying to capitalize on it, and they need to just stop. Just go cold turkey, walk away, and leave it be. And a few years, get us a newbie, somebody who's kind of in that department, but not any of the original, and go from there.
Yep, I understand, man. I understand. But I guess we have talked about a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah, we did an extra long show today.
Yeah, I said it's worth it.
Well, yeah. Once we get on the roll, we got to keep going.
Is there anything else, y'all? Any last thoughts?
Not for me.
We've bounced around a lot, so I think we kind of spewed out a good bunch of stuff.
And I guess the only thing left to say is this: I'm glad that old dude stepped out of being in that damn Candyman versus Leprechaun. That's a dumb idea.
Yeah, that would be a horrible, horrible end of your already limited career.
Yes. Well, there go the phone.
Yeah, that's my "where are you" phone call.
All right, then, guys. We'll go ahead and close up shop here in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts about the subjects that we talked about. Did you agree with us? And are there some points and ideas that we didn't touch upon? And just leave them down in the comments. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification button to get the best what we got going on this channel. And I again greatly appreciate KP and Madam B for joining me here in another edition of the. Really enjoy y'all company. Y'all give a lot of great input, and y'all just make it that much more enjoyable to do.
Oh.
We're so blessed.
Yep. So having said that, guys, we'll definitely catch you guys later. Peace out.